So thank you for my birthday wish. It's so funny. So funny. This is gonna be real short because I still got a lot of studying to do, but um it's funny because I don't know what it is about this birthday. Like it's got me like, it's my birthday, it's my birthday, right? But Chris inspired me. So like everybody that has been wishing me a happy birthday, I have literally been responding by video as well. So Chris doesn't even know he's inspired a video, um, a video string of responses. So um, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your birthday wish. Unc started. Ebony followed up with screaming and calling. And it was funny because I started screaming with her. And then we were both like laughing. But I really appreciate your, and Pastor Sheila called and sung to me. She sent me a song. She sung to me with a voice note. But it's been really, really amazing. And then, when I came in, when I was running late this morning and I was really trying to get there, but I got there in time. They hadn't started class, but I like to get there at the warm-up time. But I got there like 5 minutes before class started. And when I walked in, I said, "Good morning, everybody." And everybody said, "Good morning." And I said, "Keith, you know today my birthday?" He said, "For real?" He said, "Today your birthday?" He said, "Today is really your birthday." I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Happy birthday." So then the whole class was like, "Happy birthday." I was like, "Thank y'all. Today my birthday." And so everybody was laughing. So everybody just was like starting saying, "Happy birthday, happy birthday." So John he's like your age, and John is training under Keith. So John's birthday is tomorrow. So so then at the end of class, Keith was like, "Y'all, tomorrow is John's birthday." And then he looked over at me. He was like, "As a matter of fact, everybody that got a birthday in January, come up here, come up here." So we were all standing up there. And it was like probably like 8 of us in there that has birthdays. And like 1 or 2 people already had, 3 people already had birthdays like last week. And then we got like 4 more next week. And then mine today, and then John. And then Keith's birthday was the 2nd. And so it was this one girl standing there, and he said, "When your birthday?" She said, "I'm a Capricorn." He said, "When is your birthday?" She said, "Oh, my birthday December 27th." He said, "Sit down." He said, "I said January." But we had a good time. It was fun. I'm just enjoying my day. So, and I really appreciate when you said the greatest mother mentor of all time, and that you're grateful for my parents, like that really hit home. It's like every day I am growing in grace, and I'm growing in gratitude towards God. Like I've always been grateful, but it's like a more intense gratitude. So I'm appreciative. Again, every so many birthdays is special. And I don't know what it is, but I realized, remember, I think it was the year before last, Bishop anointed you and called it a birthday anointing. I had my birthday anointing on Sunday. I just realized I had my birthday anointing on Sunday. And you know what it was? It was a matriarch impartation. That's what it was. Yep. That's what that was. It was a matriarch impartation. Yeah, that's what that was. And what was amazing was when I got out of class yesterday morning. Yesterday was Aunt Cheryl's birthday. Her birthday was yesterday. So when I got out of class, as soon as I got in the parking lot, I was like, let me see if Cheryl want me to take her out, or let me take her out for pancakes. So I called her and I was like, "What you doing?" She was like, "I'm good, nothing." So I said, because she has my great niece with her, because her and her daughter live together. And so I said, "You want to go out? You and Seven want to go out for pancakes?" She was like, "Yeah, we can go out." So I said, "Well, how long will it take you to get dressed?" She was like, 15, 20 minutes. So now so I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, I'm going to come over. This is going to get you right here. I forgot to tell you this. Now, I got to hurry up." But I said, "Okay." So I decided to park over at the church because there's really the parking that's right there at their door in their building is for temporary parking. It's like that's if you are coming in to inquire about renting there. So I parked in the church parking lot. I pulled up on the parking lot, and there's a guy going to his car, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, that look like there's a guy, a member of our church, and I look like I recognize him. So I went and I turned around and I turned my truck around like to exit the parking lot, but I was just parking in that direction and turned around, and he looked over at me and waved at me, and I was like, oh my God, that's him. His name is Rodney, right? Like Unc's name. But he's a guy that for the last, I don't know how many years, every time he sees me, he always gives me a hug. He always tell me, he said, I don't know what it is. He said, it's something about your hugs. Every time I hug you, he said, everything in my life just goes right. So he literally makes it a point to come hug me. So we were talking, and I said, what you doing up here? He said, I'm up here praying. He said, I always come up here and I pray. He said, I normally come up here and pray at night. He said, but I got my daughter, I got my grandkids. He said, stop. I'm not doing that. I'm not talking about, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to sing. He's like, no. He's like, but yeah, he said, so when I can't come up here at night, he said, when my schedule changed, he said, I come up here in the daytime. And I said, that's so crazy. I said, because I was telling him about my sister live over there, and I'm taking her out for breakfast. And I said, what's funny is that I wasn't planning to take her out for breakfast. I said, so the very fact that so of course I got out the truck and gave him a hug. And I said, the very fact that I came up here, and you normally come at night, but you're here during the day. And he was finished praying. He was actually walking back to his car, getting ready to pull off. But he hadn't gotten to the car yet. He was just walking to that direction when I pulled onto the parking lot. I said, it's not happenstance that I run into you now. So he was like, yeah, he said, but I just want to tell you that, he said, the last time I saw you, he said, I was this close to committing suicide. He said, and you talked me out of it. And I did. I remember that day. And he said, and you kept talking to me. He said, but I'm telling you. And I said, to God be all the glory. He said, no. He said, I know it's to God be all the glory. He said, but it was you talking to me. He was like, something about your hugs and your conversation. He said, I'm telling you, I was this close. He kept doing this. I was this close, and I was going to commit suicide. He said, but what happened was, he was outside on the phone, and I came outside. And I don't never go outside. You know it's God. So we talked or whatever, and he said, I always tell my wife, he said, that lady right there, he said, if you see me hug her the way I hug her, he said, don't even think nothing about it. He said, I gotta hug her. He was like, there ain't nothing to it. I'm telling you, it's something about her hugs. He said, so don't even look at it like that. The way I hugged that lady right there. So it was just amazing to run into him on the parking lot yesterday. The timing of God. So yeah, it's been a great day. So I went to the workout. What ended up happening was, when I got to, this is why I'm telling you this, went to pick up Aunt Cheryl. When she got in the car, she was like, you will never not believe Terry. She said, guess who called me? And I was like, who? She was like, Aisha. Aisha's her other sister. So Cheryl has 3 other sisters by her dad. And then she has me and Aunt Tanya by our mom. So Aunt Tanya normally comes up here, but she hasn't come up here yet this year. And so we've been trying to figure out when she's going to come up here. But anyway, she was like, yeah, they was calling me to take me. I said, to take you out to eat. She was like, yeah, they wanted to take me out for lunch. And she said that her sister Aisha was like, oh, dang. And she said, well, we could have went out for pancakes. And I said, they can. I said, call them back. So she called them back, and they ended up meeting us, and we all went out. So we had a good time going out to eat breakfast yesterday. We had a really good time. So I love you. I'm getting off now because it's been 9 minutes. I've been running my mouth, and I'm still trying to put my Bible study stuff together. Okay, I love you. Bye. But thank you so much. Bye.